Hey folks, hi, this is Gigi, Gigi Unfiltered. How y'all doing today? Today is Friday. We're going to be dropping some money. We're going to have a little chat. Got a little quote here for you folks as well. But you know how we like to start our Fridays? You know, a little chat. A little smile goes a long way. You know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? Yeah, okay. All right, so today we are having a protein coffee. I think I like it. It's called butter coffee. Tastes pretty good. Chica, 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 chica. Gigi's been trying to take it a little easy, but still be like my margaritas and wine. You know what I'm saying? All right, so let's go ahead.
We're getting ready.
Weather's been crazy. Like right now it's sunny. It's nice and bright in here. Probably about 10 minutes ago, that was going on. I don't know what's going on here. But anyway, we're going to drop some money here. We're going to chat a little bit about the week. And I've got an interesting, I don't think you could say so much. It's a quote, maybe a statement that I came across in a book. I thought it was very interesting. I even sent it to my girl. Any quotes I have here, I always send them, tell my girl, this is what I'm going to be, Luda, come here. This is a quote I want to be dissecting for the week. She gets a kick out of it, I think. Oh, Gigi, what is going on? Get your stuff together. I got to get my right glasses on. You know what I'm saying? There we go. Got my purple glasses on. I don't know what happened. I saw them in a camera right here. All right. We're good? Yeah, I think we're good. All right. So let's go ahead and count some money. And let's go from there, okay? All right, here we go, folks. Let's see how much money we're going to have here. 20. That's 80. It's going to be a little bit of a drop because, you know, I had to go get another pair of glasses. These glasses I use for my video, recording, editing, photography. They call them office glasses or whatever. But my everyday glasses, they broke. And they were a couple years old, so went and bought those, just paid for them right there, just like we paid for Luna's treatment. So those are expenses that were kind of like out of pocket that Gigi really wasn't counting on, but I knew they needed to get taken care of. So that's why we've had two small drops. But you know what? We're still saving money. We're still dropping money, right? Okay, so there's 80, 90, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 107. $107. That's okay, because that's going to help Big Teeth smile. Yeah, he's doing well. Like I said in my little short I did earlier in the week, he did go to the dentist. I guess they needed to make some type of adjustment, so they're still dealing with that, but no bottom plate. But he's been eating soup. So let's go ahead and we're not going to drop any money here. I do want to drop some money here. So let's do 15 here. But this week's been a good week. When it had a sticker day at my mom's. I think that was on Wednesday. Yeah, because Monday we took Journey. Oh, poor Journey. She's wearing the coat of shame. She got herself taken care of. She's like 5 months, 4.5 months, 5 months. And my mom wanted her to get that taken care of before she went into season. So that's what we did on Monday. Then Tuesday, I feel like I did something Tuesday. Oh, me and Big Dog took off. Okay. I've talked about MacBid recently. It's something that my daughter-in-law told me about. So we got this little clip. This Keurig. I keep wanting to call it Kraggers. Kraggers are like the rims that I used to see a lot of when I was a kid. On cars. Cherry out your car, make sure you got Krager rims. Anyway, Keurig. This is an older model, but they're still selling them anywhere. I've seen them anywhere from $180 down to $99. We got this one for $41. That was a McBid. So I'm quite pleased with that. So now I've got a table in here that I use for my stickers. And when I was down there, because they get like overstock, returned items and overstocked items. And the one thing I saw were a bunch of electrical standing desks, which I'm familiar with because when I was working at the funeral home, we bought a couple of those for a couple of the sales guys. They wanted that. And I would tell Big Dog, you know what, I think, because this table is just a old table that he had, and I told him, I want to see how it works for me in here to begin with. And I like it. It does work for me. So I told him I want to get, see if I can get one of those tables. Now those desks I should say, that we've been looking at, they can go anywhere from $99 all the way up to $200. I got one for $41. Another $40 value. So we go pick it up tomorrow. But they got all. But the thing is, you have to look. It's like eBay but live, because on eBay you can look at the stuff. Here you can go open it up. You can try it on. Not try it on. You can look at it, plug it in, see if it works. If it works, that's good. Some of the stuff is just brand new. That Keurig was a brand new box. The desks, there was a bunch of them over there, and it looks like they're new. So it must have just been overstocked items. So that's really pretty cool. Okay, so over here, so we're gonna go pick that up tomorrow. I want it because remember I only put $4 for a Big Dog here, and I did say we'd go ahead and give him the other $4. So we did that, and then at Sticker Day, my mom made us a hamburger salad. There's the spread there, and I made a pineapple upside down cake. Big Dog loved it because he said it was outstanding. That is what I'm always looking for, outstanding, because that means he really likes it. Because, he'll say, oh, it tastes okay. Oh, yeah, it tastes good. But when he says outstanding, it's outstanding. I'm just saying. Anyway, did that. And I was quite excited. $4 in here. Now we're going to go ahead and look at our dental. See what we got here. Because I saw that the weather was going to be like all in the 90s. And that's nice because we've been coming out of the hundreds. But now it's been like crazy rain. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know what the man's talking about. Okay, I got extra money here. So what did I not do? Well, let's see what I can put here. Because I wasn't planning on putting this much here. Oh, let's see here. 20. Oh, I know what. I didn't put anything in here yet, huh? No, because you're talking too much, Gigi. So let's see here. So let's split this up. 42. And that's what we have here. 45, 46. Let's see. Do I have 46 over here? 46. Let's see here. Let's see. Let's break this 20. Then I could probably do something with it. Let's see what I got. I know I have 5, 10, 15, 20. So let's put that here. Let's put this in here. I'm going to have to go drop some money at the bank. I got way too much money here. So put that in there. I put money in. I haven't put money in here yet. So let's see here. Now what do I have? 20, 40, I'd like to do 50 something. 52. Okay, so here's 52, because I have that here. And let's see, because I gotta start saving for Christmas. 20, 30, 35, 36. Do I have a 36? Yeah, so I'll put 36 here in Christmas. Woohoo! So I'm trying to get bigger numbers now. Because you know what? Christmas is going to be here before we know it. Okay, folks. Did you see it? The Golden Bachelor. Mel Owens, former LA Rams. Okay, I'm a Ram girl. I grew up watching my dad watch the Rams game. My dad was a football guy. Every Sunday, if it was football season, the TV was monopolized because it was football. And I remember as a kid a couple of times, him and his brother, my Uncle Ralph, we would go down to the LA Coliseum and watch the LA Rams. But I remember Rams back in the day, like Roman Gabriel. I thought that was such a cool name. Oh, Roman Gabriel. Doesn't that sound like a cool name? I think it was a quarterback. What was the other one? See, I just lost my train of thought thinking about Roman Gabriel. But I remember going with my dad, and I enjoyed it. I think I just enjoyed knowing that it was something my dad liked, and we were there with him. But we went a couple times to the football games, and then, like I said, always every Sunday. And then he would do the football pools, and we did the football pools. So it was like a, exciting thing. So anyway, the Golden Bachelor, I don't remember him, Mel Owens. I remember there was Merlin Owens. Merlin Olsen also was a quarterback. Not this guy. Not a quarterback, but a player on the LA Rams. But Mel Owens, and I guess this guy put his foot in his mouth. Because apparently he was in a podcast saying that he doesn't want any artificial top or bottoms. And that I guess he enjoyed the companies of 45-year-old and 60-year-olds. The why are you in the Golden Bachelor? These women are all like over 60. So I guess this podcast came out before, or maybe right before, or maybe the very beginning of him recording this show, and all the women were very aware of it, and we're not really pleased about it. Okay, what we're doing here. 40, 50, 52, yeah. So I'm thinking, the why are you there? If you're saying that you prefer women between 45 and 60, I mean, they got women over 70 on this program. Then why are you there? Are you, I don't know, maybe he just got a big fat check. I don't know. I didn't think that was, when you were on that podcast, you probably said what you really meant. Now you're backpedaling and you're trying to save face because you committed yourself to this program. And that's not cool. And these women, they're already throwing themselves at this guy. Really? Oh, well, I guess one of them, I mean, she's like eating his face. And I guess she feels like she just needs to make herself known. Don't be sloppy. Men don't like desperate females. I'm just saying, don't be desperate. When you're desperate, you're done. That's not a turn on. In my history, it is not a turn on for men when women are desperate. That's what I'm going to say. Nothing else. But, oh my gosh. I guess it was on, because I saw the season premiere, but I guess there was another episode and I didn't watch it. I missed it. So I'm going to have to look out for that. So let me go ahead and update our sheets here. Where is my black pen? I know I got a black pen here. Well, here's one. I'll go ahead and use this one. Today is 9/26. So this should be very interesting, because it's going to be interesting to see whether or not this is going to be something that comes up again. I guess he's a widow, maybe a couple years. So, I don't know. I just didn't think bad for Mal. So 1552. That's an easy one for Gigi. Well, put down the right number, Gigi. And then 44. Okay, I can't even read my number there. 4360 plus 51 plus, that is 44, and then 52. 4463. All right. And like I said earlier in my last clip, Big Dog did go to the doctors, like I had mentioned earlier, and we had to pay the dentist $259. Don't need this. $259 because something with the insurance company didn't pay, or whatever. But the $259 was part of the $2,500 that she had quoted to me a couple of weeks ago, so that's fine. So right now we've saved to date $44.63, and because we've still been paying along the way. So right now we have in our envelope $15.52, because as we've been going along, like when they ask, well, are you going to be putting this on credit? I go, no, we're going to pay as we go. So there we go. So that was nice. And then today I went to Zumba. That's us getting ready for Zumba. Reggie had to cut a little short because apparently I think he works at Costco. And I guess his supervisor, somebody was saying, blame it on the supervisor, right, Reggie? Messed up on his schedule or something. So So we had to shorten up, not shorten, but he started a little bit early, but he worked us. We had a really good cardio. So anyway, let's go ahead and start talking about the quote. I got it from a book that I've been reading for some time, and I'll go ahead and put a picture of the book right there, and let's go ahead and get the quote. So let me go ahead and get set up here, okay? Okay. Okay, folks, welcome back. Okay, so this is a statement that I read. The book is called Embrace by Lena. Let me see. Get the book here. Lena Kurz. I'm going to put a link, the picture of the book up there. It's called Embrace, and this is the statement that she said that kind of like made me go, what? And it's called, this is it. After all, how a woman thinks is often how she lives. May we think upon and live our truth and only truth today. And I said, I had to read it again. After all, how a woman thinks is often how she lives. May we think upon and live our truth and only truth today. And I thought, wow, because I've shared quotes with you folks here as far as like your body already knows what you're thinking, because as soon as we hear it, as soon as we see it, our body reacts. Now our mind takes us some time to kind of catch up. Might be a second, couple seconds, a millisecond, half a second, but our body's already reacted to it before our brain has even grasped the situation about what we've seen, what we've heard, what we felt. It's already got it. You know, so when I saw that, I was like, wow, that's true. And the thing is, that's not an easy thing to do at times. You know, because society is especially for females. I think it's starting to be that way for us. Get my notes here. Sorry about all the noise here. I think it's starting to kind of be that way for men, but it's always kind of been that way for women as far as how we should be, what we should look like, what size should we be, how should we talk, how should we walk. You know, it's always kind of been in our face about it. And for men, not so much. So, and I think what happens, especially for young females, I think it's hard. You know, when you got Instagram, you got all the social media stuff, you got TikTok and all that stuff that's out there. You know, I think you don't believe that's true, because 9 out of 10, it's not true. That's a facade. That's fake. Like, Gigi's not fake. This is Gigi. This is my real hair. This is my real makeup. These are my real glasses. You know, this is my real studio. I'm 67 years old. I'm talking to folks. You know, I'm just having fun here, sharing part of my journey here with you folks. You know, if I can, you know, make you laugh, if you find it intriguing, if you can walk away with something, that's great. But I'm not trying to say I'm all that and I know all. I'm only sharing what I've learned, because I'm thinking by the time I'm 67 years old, I think I've learned a few things. And I think it's also a way for me to leave something for my girls. You know, what would Gigi say about that? You know, I don't know. But I think especially for young female, hey, let me tell you, I'm glad I was not going to La Puerta High School and dealing with Facebook or Instagram or what do they call them now? A grammar. You know, a grammar is what they call it on Instagram. I guess influencer or whatever. TikTok, Snapchat. I'm glad I didn't have any of that. You know what I'm saying? And even my kids that was just starting. I didn't even get phones for my kids. Well, let me back up. When my boy went to college, he got his own phone. He never had a phone when he was living with me and his dad. And then I wasn't going to get a phone for my girl. But when we were going through the divorce, and if she was at her dad's, I wanted her to be able to reach me no matter what. So I got her phone. She was probably about 15 or 16. And that time stuff was starting to come out but it's nothing compared to what it is nowadays. And I think it's very, very difficult. But the things you have to realize, you have to find your own truth. Truth is not, you're not going to find it at TikTok. You're not going to find it as a grammar, nor as a Facebook. That's all fake. That's fake news, okay? It's all fake. It's not real. When you shut the camera off and you look at yourself in the mirror, that's real. That's who you have to be honest with. That's the person you have to be truthful with. That's the person that holds your truth. So you may be thinking you're holding on or you're living a truth, but is it really your truth? And sometimes it's very difficult to understand or even realize the difference, because people say you should be this, or people say you should be that, or people say you should behave a certain way or look a certain way, or like I said earlier, especially for females. But that's not your truth. That's not my truth, you know. So you have to kind of figure out where your truth lies and how can you be okay with that? Because the reality is not everybody's truth's the same. And the thing is, and if you're not living your truth, what they call, in other words, your authentic self, it'll show. Because people can feel that you're not honest, you're not truthful, you're not real. And that energy, and the way people know that is by your energy, the way you come off, the energy you bring in. They respond to that, good, better, and different. They respond to that. So, like they say, people will not always remember your name, but they'll remember the way you made them feel. And if you make them feel positive, that's real. And that's what you want to look for. You want to feel good, and that energy that you throw out there is positive too. But like I said, if you're not living in your truth, then it's not going to come out, and all you do is just faking it. Now I know sometimes there's a theory that, or a say, fake it till you make it. Well, you can only fake it so long, and then it catches up with you. Oh, do you hear that? That's thunder. So what we want to do, or what Gigi wants to try to do, not just what I say, what you want to try to do, what Gigi wants to try to do, is that I want to try to get up every morning and get the chance to reset my thinking. I got hummingbirds flying all over the place here. I'm surprised they're flying in it's crazy weather out there. But every morning I want to get up with a chance to reset our thinking, reset my thinking, and ask, what's really true for me today? What's the story I want to live out today? Because really, like I said last week, you're your own vessel. This is your vessel. You get to move it any way you want. So how are you going to live it out? How are you going to move it? How are you going to steer it? Sometimes it's been, like I've shared before, for many, many years, I've always felt like I had to stay with a certain confines. That was just me. I'm not saying people said I needed to do that. That was just the way I felt that I needed to be. Even though it may not have been honest, and even though it may not have been real, and even though it may have been hurting me, there came a point in time when I said, that's not working for me. Whatever I was doing, however I was projecting, however I was living, that was not working for me. So change had to occur. But the thing is, change doesn't happen until you make it happen. You just don't wake up one day and say, oh, I'm changed. Okay, you could say that all you want, but what's the action that you're taking to make it so, right? Right. Because me getting up and sitting in my corner of the bed, I tell Big Dog, hey, today I am a changed woman. And he's going, oh yeah? But if I don't do anything else but say that, that's not change. That's not for real. So, because you have to put action into it. And I'm not saying just words, action. Action, I understand when somebody says something and doesn't do it. That is and you're in a relationship with somebody like that, that is not a good place. Because what happens, you can't trust that person. You want to really trust that person, but you can't, because they're not being honest. They're not being their authentic self. They're not being truthful. They may think they are, but they're not. Because when they're saying something, but then they're doing a different action, That's not honesty. It's a form, to me, it's a form of lying. Because, lip action don't get you very far if you're not backing it up with something as well. And you want to watch that. Watch what you're doing. Watch how you're behaving. How are you conducting yourself? Is what you're saying matching up with what you're doing? Because if it is, then you're pretty much in line with what you got going on. Because you want to have your mind, body, and soul all aligned. But when you don't, when you say one thing and do another, you're only fooling yourself. And you think you're fooling other people, but they can see it. So let me back up here. Let me read that quote again. After all, how a woman thinks is often how she lives. Okay, so let's break that down. How I think and how I live. Because if I'm thinking, I'm going to be living a life to support that process, that thought process I have, the way I think, the way I see things. Of course, I'm going to be living that way because my mind is helping me form the process to move that way. Okay, so let's start. Let's read that again. After all, how a woman thinks is often how she lives. I think I've shared it with you folks before. I've worked in housing, social services for a total of 15 years altogether. Because I worked at a rape crisis center and 3 different housing offices. And the one thing I noticed, and young women, younger than me when I was working at the time, I would tell my daughter and my mom that you could see how hard some people's lives are, especially the females, well, because I'm female, that's what I related to first, is because it was written on their face. Because their life was embedded on their face. I know where I got these from. I ain't telling you, but I know where they got them from. But it's embedded in their face. And so many of these young women, it was just hard. You could see they've had a hard life. They've had a tough go of it. But when they come back and things have gone better and they're doing something, they've made a change in their life for the positive. A lot of the wrinkles don't go away, but what it is, they're like lighter. So their energy is better. Their attitude is lighter. They're feeling better. They're smiling. So even though their face may show a hard life, it doesn't show like hard. It looks a little softer, like they're looking better. Like I say, they earned all that. Whatever they did, they earned all that. But the way they look, by them now helping themselves, by them now making change, by them doing good for themselves, they were looking, my fancy mic here, I keep hitting it. They were actually helping themselves look better and feeling better. Their attitude was better. And they did that. I didn't do that. They did that. But you could tell the difference. Notice yourself, because it's just like with smile. Like I've talked before, when you smile, everything is up. And when you're sad, everything is down. It's just, it's energy, baby. That's all it is. It's just energy. And what you gonna do about it? You want good energy? You want bad energy? I like to try to have good energy. I don't have good energy every day, but I like to try and have it. I like to think I have it, but I know I don't because I think Gigi. But all I can do is try my very best to try to have a positive outlook and know that I'm trying to do the best that I can. That's all I can do. And every day I try to do better because I'm trying to live in my own truth. Sometimes it's hard to try to figure that out. What is my own truth? I don't know. Sometimes but the thing is, if you're curious enough and you want to know, you will find it. But you have to be in alignment. Mind, body, and soul have to be in alignment for you to find your truth. Because if something's out of kick, it's not going to work. It's not. I'm just saying. So, I guess what I want to share with you is just be mindful of your truth. Because your truth will not match up to be my truth. And that doesn't mean it's wrong. It's not. That's just your truth. That's just your life. That's just your authenticity. Find it. Own it. Be okay with it. And if other people have problems with it, that's their loss. Because they're not going to get the real you. Because like I've said before, people who are important to you, people who love you, they will support you because they want you to be happy. They want you to do the right thing. They want you to feel good about yourself because in turn, they'll feel good seeing that. But if they don't really care, they're going to want to keep you where they want you at. And that's the difference. You got to find your truth and live with that truth and feel good about it and know that that's who you are and own it and be honest about it and feel good about it. Let me read it to you one more time, okay? After all, how a woman thinks is often how she lives. May we think upon and live our truth and only truth today. Once you find it, own it, and walk it, and you'll be fine. You really will. Just gotta have a little faith, baby. That's all. All right. All right. Like I said, I found it. I found this statement, and I just had to what? It just kind of struck me. And as soon as I saw it, I took a picture of that page and I highlighted that section and sent it to my girl. Because sometimes words matter and sometimes they'll just stick. And I'm a words person, words intrigue me. But anyway, like I said, when I saw it, I said, I got to talk about that. I got to share that with you folks out here today. So like I said, even though it says women, this really pertains to everybody. So let's read it. Let's read it for everybody, not just females. I only talk about a lot of females, couple of females. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, after all, how a person thinks is often how they live. May we think upon and live our truth and only truth today. Okay? Let's live our truth today. Let's keep it forward. Let's have a good one. Tits up. Until next week. Ciao, folks. Have a good one.
We're getting ready. Getting ready at the dance floor. So turn the lights on. You know just what we're here for. We're moving like